Okay, so we're back and ready to dive into these Europa League playoff matches.
Yeah, some really exciting second legs coming up.
You said over a ton of previews for 7 matches, and
I did.
I've got to say they're really interesting.
Oh, good.
So basically, we're going to break it all down, history, stats, and all the little details.
Everything you need to know.
So you can impress your friends with your Europa League knowledge.
That's the goal.
All right, so first up, we've got FCSB taking on PAOK.
Right.
There's leg FCSB 1-2-1, but...
Yeah, but it was a lot closer than that scoreline suggests.
Oh, really?
Definitely PAOK's Tyson got a red card just before halftime. And that really shifted the momentum.
Okay, so playing with 10 men for a whole half, that's tough.
It is, and historically, PAOK have really struggled against Romanian teams.
Is that right?
Only 1 win in 5 matches.
Wow.
And that win...
Against Romanian sides.
Yeah, that win came over 50 years ago.
Oh, wow. So that's a long time.
Yeah, not a good record.
No, not at all. So FCSB, on the other hand, they're actually trying to win both legs of a European knockout tie for the first time since the 2005-06 season.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is.
You know, they actually let a 3-goal lead slip in the second leg of that tie.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if they can hold on to their lead this time around.
Or if PO could pull off the comeback.
Exactly.
Up next, we've got Viktoria Plzeň hosting Ferencváros.
Okay.
Ferencváros are coming in with a 1-0 lead from that first leg.
Yep.
And Plzeň have never progressed after losing the first leg, so...
They'll be hoping to make history then.
Yeah, exactly. But Ferencváros have actually lost their last 2 away games in the Europa League by a pretty big margin, a 7-0 aggregate score.
Oof, that's gotta hurt.
So Plzeň are probably looking at that thinking, okay, maybe we can exploit that.
Right.
Especially since Plzeň has been on fire at home recently, scoring 12 goals in their last 3 home games.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting?
What's that?
Ferencváros haven't conceded a goal before halftime in their last 12 Europa League away matches.
So?
Rock solid defense in the first half.
Wow, that is impressive.
Yeah. So will Plzeň be able to break through early, or will Ferencváros frustrate them?
That's the big question going into this one.
For sure.
Our third match takes us to Norway. Bodø Glimt are hosting Twente.
All right.
Bodø Glimt lost the first leg 2-1.
Yeah, a real heartbreaker.
They lost to a 95th minute penalty.
Brutal way to lose a match.
Absolutely. And they've actually never overcome a first leg deficit in major European competition.
So the odds are stacked against them.
Yeah, but here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
Bodø Glimt's home games are known for being high scoring.
Like how high scoring are we talking?
They've averaged 4.4 total goals in their last 10 home matches.
Wow, so that's almost guaranteed goals.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sounds like a fun one to watch.
Twente, on the other hand, have never made it to the last 16 of the Europa League.
So this could be their year.
It could be they are trying to win consecutive European away games for the first time since the 1977-78 season.
So a bit of history on the line for them.
Definitely. So will Twente be able to handle that attacking power from Bodø Glimt or?
Or will they crumble under pressure?
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
All right, let's head over to Spain now.
Okay.
Real Sociedad, they're going up against Midtjylland.
Yep.
Real Sociedad won the first leg 2-1.
Right.
But here's a crazy stat for you.
Hit me with it.
They haven't won a European knockout tie at home in springtime since 2000.
Wow, that is surprising.
It is, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's got to give Midtjylland some hope.
Definitely.
Although they've never actually beaten a Spanish team.
Oh, really?
Nope.
So another interesting little wrinkle in this matchup.
Absolutely. Now, Real Sociedad, they like to start fast.
Oh, yeah?
They've scored a lot of their Europa League goals in the first half.
So Midtjylland are going to have to be ready to go from the first whistle.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting, though, Midtjylland's last 4 Europa League away games have all ended 2-0.
And even more interested, they scored 1 goal in each half of those games.
So very consistent.
Very consistent, yeah.
So how do you see this match playing out tactically?
Well, will Midtjylland try to absorb that early pressure from Sociedad and hit them on the break? Or will they go for an early goal and try to disrupt Sociedad's rhythm?
A lot of different ways this one could go.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so moving on to a match that might already be decided.
Oh, you think so?
It's looking that way. Ajax versus Royal Union Saint-Gilloise. Ajax won the first leg 2-0, and they're on a 5-game winning streak right now.
Yeah, they're looking really strong, but don't forget.
Was it?
Royal Union had 2 goals disallowed for offside in that first leg.
Ouch.
Talk about bad luck.
Yeah, that's got to be tough to swallow.
It is.
So what do you think about their chances, especially considering they've only won 1 of their last 7 away games in the Europa League?
Well, it's a tough ask to overturn a 2-goal deficit, especially against a team like Ajax who's been dominant at home.
And they tend to score a lot of goals at home. Yeah, at least 3 goals in their last 5 Europa League home games.
Wow.
So it's an uphill battle for Royal Union.
For sure. All right, next up, we're off to Turkey
All right.
for a match that could be a goal fest.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It's Galatasaray versus AZ Alkmaar.
Right.
And Galatasaray are trailing 4-1 after that first leg.
Yeah, they're in a bit of trouble.
A bit of trouble is an understatement.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, statistically speaking, their chances of overturning a 3-goal deficit are slim.
How slim are we talking?
Only one team in the past decade has managed to do it at this stage.
Wow.
So mission impossible for Galatasaray.
Pretty much, but they are the highest scorers in this season's Europa League.
True.
So,
And they concede a lot of goals, too.
right, so we could still be in for a really entertaining match.
Yeah, I think so, especially since AZ are on a 4-game winning streak, and all of those wins have been by at least 2 goals.
So they're in good form.
Definitely.
Yeah, this could be a thriller, even if the tie itself is essentially over.
Okay, last but not least,
Let's do it.
we've got Anderlecht trying to pull off a miracle against Fenerbahçe.
Okay.
Fenerbahçe won the first leg 3-0,
Right.
and they're managed by the special one, Jose Mourinho.
So no easy task for Anderlecht.
Not at all. And Fenerbahçe, they're unbeaten in 14 manages with 5 wins in a row.
They're on fire.
So Anderlecht are hoping history repeats itself
How so?
because they've never lost 4 Europa League games in a row.
Oh, right.
But coming back from a 3-goal deficit is a huge ask.
It is only one team in history has managed to overcome a deficit like that in this competition.
So what's the biggest question mark hanging over this match?
Good question.
Is it Anderlecht's ability to score 3 goals without conceding? Or is it whether Fenerbahçe will play conservatively to protect their lead and potentially open the door for Anderlecht?
That's a tough one to call. You also have to factor in Jose Mourinho's incredible record against Anderlecht.
What's his record?
He's undefeated in his 5 career matches against them.
So that's got to be playing on their minds a little bit.
Yeah, that psychological factor could definitely play a role.
It sounds like Anderlecht are up against it.
It's a tall order, but hey, this is the Europa League. Anything can happen.
Right. You never know.
Exactly. All right, let's talk about some of the key players to watch in these matches.
Sounds good.
Starting at that FCSB PAOK game, FCSB's Florin Tanase, he's been their clutch player this season.
Oh, yeah?
All 4 of his goals this season have been the first goal of the match.
So he's the one to watch.
Definitely. He also provided the assist for their equalizer in that first leg against PAOK.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he can create and score goals.
He's a real threat then.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so what about PAK? Anyone who can match Tanaser's firepower?
Well, they'll be hoping Ali Samata can continue his recent form.
He's been playing well?
Yeah, since he rejoined the first team this month, he's directly contributed to 5 goals in his last 3 matches.
Wow.
4 goals and an assist.
So yeah, he's definitely a danger man.
He is.
All right, let's move on to that Plzeň Ferencváros game. We've got another interesting individual matchup here.
Oh, for sure.
Pavel Schulk. He's been the creative engine for Plzeň this season.
Yeah, he's got 10 assists already.
And some of those have come against big teams in this competition.
That's right. He set up goals against Real Sociedad and Manchester United.
So he's clearly the one pulling the strings for Plzeň.
But Ferencváros has Ibrahim Cisse.
Oh yeah, he's a rock at the back.
Yeah, he's been instrumental in all 3 of their clean sheets in this competition this season.
And he can chip in with goals and assists too.
He actually has a goal and an assist in this competition already.
He's a real all-rounder then.
He is.
Right, from a tight tactical battle to a potential goal fest.
Okay, which one are we talking about?
Bodø, Glimt, and 20.
Ah, yes, that one.
Patrick Berg scored their only goal in the first leg.
Okay.
But it wasn't just any goal.
What do you mean?
It was his 5th goal in a row where he scored the opening goal of the match for Bodø Glimt.
So he likes to get things started.
He does.
20 are going to have to keep a close eye on him.
For sure. Do they have anyone who can match his goal-scoring prowess?
Well, they have Sam Lammers.
Okay.
He's got 9 goals this season and has scored both of his Europa League goals away from home.
Interesting. So he seems to like playing on the road.
He does.
That could be a problem for Bodø Glimt.
It could be.
All right, over in Spain, Real Sociedad's Takefusa Kubo.
Oh, yeah, he's fun to watch.
He's been directly involved in more Europa League goals for them than anyone else this season.
2 goals and 2 assists.
Yep.
He's a special talent.
He is, and he seems to have a knack for scoring those crucial goals.
Right. The goal he scored in the first leg against Midtjylland was actually the 5th time in 6 goals this season where his goal was the decisive one in a victory.
So he's the man for the big moments then.
Definitely.
What about Midtjylland? Anyone who can neutralize Kubo?
They'll be looking to Valdemar Biskov.
Okay, what's special about him?
He has a habit of scoring late goals.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's managed to score after the 80th minute in 2 of his last 3 European appearances.
So even if they're ahead, they can't switch off.
No, not at all.
That's what makes these knockout ties so unpredictable.
It is one moment of brilliance or a late twist and everything can change.
Exactly. All right, let's talk about that Royal Union Saint-Gilloise Ajax match.
The one it's probably already decided.
Yeah, but Royal Union will be hoping Kevin McAllister can inspire a comeback.
He did score their last Europa League away goal.
He did, but he also has a tendency to pick up yellow cards.
Oh, right.
He's been booked in 2 of his last 4 matches, including the first leg of this tie.
So he needs to be careful.
Yeah, he walks a fine line between being aggressive and being disciplined.
That's true. Ajax, on the other hand, will be looking to Bertrand Traoré.
He's been on a good run of form, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's aiming to score in a 4th successive Europa League home game.
Okay, so what should Royal Union be worried about?
Well, he tends to score early.
Oh, really?
Each of his last 3 goals have come in the first 50 minutes.
So if they can weather that early storm, they might have a chance.
Yeah, but it's a big if. Okay, let's move on to that potential shootout in Turkey.
Galatasaray and AZ Alkmaar.
Right. Galatasaray's Victor Osimhen, he's back from suspension.
That's big for them.
He'll be looking to add to his scoring streak in this competition.
He's been on fire lately.
Yeah, he scored in his last 4 Europa League appearances.
Including against AZ.
Yeah, he actually scored against them back in the group stage.
So they know what he's capable of.
Oh yeah, they'll be well aware of the threat he poses.
What about AZ, though?
Well, they have David Müller-Wolf.
He's been scoring goals, too.
He has a knack for those late goals.
Really?
Yeah, he scored after the 40th minute in both of AZ's last 2 matches.
Including that first leg against Galatasaray.
Exactly.
Okay, so his late drama, maybe?
Potentially, but he needs to be careful. He picked up a yellow card in each of those matches.
Oh, so...
If Galatasaray are pushing for goals late on, he'll need to stay disciplined.
Avoid that second yellow.
Exactly.
Okay, and finally that Anderlecht's Fenerbahçe match. Anderlecht's Luis Vasquez.
He's been their main goal scorer in this competition.
2 goals and an assist.
And all 3 of those goal involvements came in the first half.
So if Anderlecht want any chance of getting back into this tie...
He needs to be at his best, right from the start.
Absolutely, it's a long shot.
It is.
But not entirely impossible.
True. Especially if Fenerbahçe underestimate them.
Yeah, underestimate their desire.
Exactly. Now, Fenerbahçe, on the other hand, they'll be hoping Sebastian Zermaski can continue his creative form.
He's been getting a lot of assists.
He's registered an assist in 3 of his last 5 appearances in this competition.
Wow.
Including one in last week's first leg.
So Anderlecht, they need to watch out for him.
They do. While they'll be focused on containing Tadic and Dzeko, they can't forget about Zermaski.
Okay, so we've covered all 7 matches, the key players to watch, the storylines that are likely to unfold. What does it all mean?
Well, I think the big takeaway is that anything can happen in the Europa League. We've seen how history can repeat itself or be completely rewritten. Individual players can become heroes or villains.
Yeah, you just never know.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so exciting.
I agree. So for our listeners out there, what should they be thinking about as they watch these matches?
Well, I think the biggest question is, which of these underdog teams has the best chance of pulling off a shock comeback?
That's a great question.
It's tough to say, but Bodø Glimt, they're tempting with their high-scoring home form and 20's vulnerability on the road.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
But I also wouldn't rule out FCSB against PAOK.
Yeah, PAOK are missing Tyson.
Exactly, so they could be vulnerable.
Okay, I like it.
It's going to be a fascinating night of football.
Absolutely. This is the Europa League. You can't switch off early. These matches could go down to the wire.
That's for sure.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the UEL knockout playoffs.
It's been a pleasure. Hopefully we've equipped everyone with everything they need to enjoy what promises to be a thrilling night of European